At some point after 40, your life starts giving you receipts. Not the cute kind, like remember when you were young and spontaneous. I mean the real receipts. The ones that show exactly how much you've been spending on everybody else. Your time, your energy, your peace. And it usually hits on a normal day. Like you're standing in the kitchen, staring at your phone, and someone's text pops up. Hey, can you do me a quick favor? Quick. That word is always the trap, because you already know what quick becomes. Quick becomes 2 hours, quick becomes emotional labor, quick becomes you rearranging your entire day while the other person never even says thank you in a full sentence. And you don't even want to say no, you just want to not feel resentful when you say yes. But after 40, your body starts telling the truth even when your mouth won't. You get irritated faster, you crash harder, you forget things, you feel overstimulated by noise, by clutter, by everyone needing something at the same time. A lot of women describe it as, I'm not losing my mind, I'm just done. And for many, perimenopause and midlife stress make that done feel louder, like your nervous system is waving a red flag that the old patterns of overextending aren't sustainable anymore. So you start watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading posts, trying to figure out why you feel so stretched thin. And that's when you start hearing the phrase everywhere. No is a complete sentence. It's become one of those viral boundary mantras, short, bold, almost rebellious, because so many of us were trained to cushion our no with apologies, explanations, and guilt. But here's what no one tells you at first. Saying no isn't the hardest part. The hardest part is surviving the reaction to your no, because when you finally stop being available for everybody, some people will act like you changed, and they're right, you did. After 40, boundaries aren't just a self-help topic, they're a survival skill. They show up in the most normal places, in family group chats where you're expected to respond immediately, in workplaces where your competence gets rewarded with more work, in friendships where you're always the listener, always the fixer, in dating where someone calls your standard guarded because they don't benefit from it. And especially in the invisible labor, the planning, the remembering, the emotional temperature checking, the did you call your mother, the can you sign this, the what are we eating tonight, the you're so good at this, can you just handle it? Midlife burnout is real, and a lot of experts link it to years of chronic overextension, often intensified by hormonal shifts in perimenopause and menopause. So here's what learning boundaries after 40 actually looks like. It looks like pausing before you answer. Not because you're mean, not because you're cold, but because you're finally checking in with yourself first. It looks like saying, let me check my calendar and get back to you. And then actually checking your energy, not just your schedule. It looks like realizing that being free doesn't mean being available. Because yes, maybe you have an open evening, but maybe that evening is for resting, or walking, or silence, or doing nothing on purpose. And doing nothing on purpose is a boundary too. Sometimes boundaries after 40 come in levels. Level 1 is the soft boundary. I can't do that today. Level 2 is the clear boundary. I'm not available for that. And level 3 is the consequence boundary. If you keep asking me after I've said no, I'm going to end this conversation. And that last one feels scary because a lot of us were raised to believe that being nice meant staying connected no matter what. But the truth is, nice without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. Now, for the people who push back, who debate your boundary, guilt you, pressure you, there's another word you've probably seen trending in boundary conversations: the gray rock method. It's basically the idea of becoming uninteresting and emotionally neutral, short responses, no extra details, so you don't feed manipulation or conflict. Not every situation needs that approach, but if you're dealing with someone who thrives on getting a reaction out of you, staying calm and boring can protect your peace. And here's the part nobody posts in a cute quote graphic. Setting boundaries after 40 can feel lonely at first because you're not just changing your schedule, you're changing your identity. You're not the automatic yes, you're not the default helper, you're not the emotional sponge. You're becoming a person with limits, and limits reveal relationships. Some people will adjust, some people will disappear, some people will get offended. And let them. Because after 40, you start understanding something powerful. The people who benefit from you having no boundaries will always call your boundaries selfish. But the people who love you for real, they learn you, they respect you, they don't punish you for protecting your peace. So if you're learning boundaries right now, start small. This week, practice 3 sentences. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. I can do X, but I can't do Y. And when guilt shows up, because it will, remind yourself, guilt isn't always a sign you're doing something wrong. Sometimes guilt is just a sign you're doing something new. After 40, boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They show people how to enter your life with respect, and they keep you from bleeding out in places that were never meant to hold you. And one day, you'll look up and realize you're not exhausted the way you used to be. Not because life got easier, but because you finally stopped making your peace optional.